Hey everyone, welcome back to PokeMarketLab. I've been beating the drum on Sword and Shield everything, booster boxes, Pokemon Center ETBs, bundles, sleeved packs, everything for a while now, and we're finally seeing this next leg up I've been talking about. I've been saying for a while, everything in Scarlet and Violet may be a touch overvalued at this point, and the market, especially the smart money, is going to start looking and saying, hey, if I can spend 200, if I have Surging Sparks here at $250 for a little bit more money, I get a product that's quite a bit older and there's no reprint risk, right? The confidence in the Pokemon Company to do reprints, they are going to reprint this product. We have a massive reprint window on all this product. Even early Scarlet and Violet is still at risk. To spend a little bit more money, you're getting really good product. I mean, Sword and Shield has already been voted on. The public loves it. Collectors love it. Investors love it. Everyone loves it. And we're starting to see the fruits of this now. We see Fusion Strike here on the screen. Market price is up to $583, and our minimum listing, our lowest price listing, is at $720 with less than 90 boxes listed on TCG Player. And what's going to happen here, and we're going to see this on, we see on Evolving Skies in the last month, we've seen a 9% increase in box prices. I think Fusion Strike is going to clip, maybe clip at the heels of Evolving Skies is a little bit strong, but I think we're racing towards $1,000. This is absolutely, Fusion Strike has always been jockeying for that second place position with Lost Origin in the Sword and Shield era. I think it's very clear Fusion Strike has that solid second place lead over Lost Origin. But what we're going to see this trickle down effect that we always see within eras, and we specifically see this in Sword and Shield, where Evolving Skies, those first four horsemen, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Lost Origin, and Chilling Reign, they take another leg up in price, and then the rest of the market follows, including the rest of the sets in that era, as well as the products in that set. So for instance, Fusion Strike booster boxes are taking a leg up 22% in the last month. That's significant, especially as we start looking at more expensive products. Look at what, comparatively, look at what we have in Scarlet and Violet, where things from the sealed standpoint, especially booster boxes, a lot of which are fairly stagnant right now. 22% in Scarlet and Violet was months ago at this point, that kind of rate of change. So we're seeing, again, the smart money, I think, is making moves. The other thing to look at here is the volume increase, the volume of sales. We're seeing a pretty significant spike here. If we zoom out in the last 6 months to a year, let's look at 3 months here. The 6-month chart on Fusion Strike is always broken. They still haven't fixed that. We can see that little uptick we're seeing here in volume of sales, which again is pretty significant for a product that's older like this. We just don't see that same kind of volume of movement that we typically see in Scarlet and Violet right now. So let's look at actually, before we look at that, let's look at Lost Origin and Chilling Reign. So same type of deal. Look at that spike in volume. We're seeing some moves here. We're seeing people recognize, again, $250 for Surging Sparks. We're seeing Destined Rivals pre-order, between $280 and $300. I mean, again, Lost Origin, Giratina, fantastic set. For $100 more, I get a product that this booster box is not going to get reprinted. And it is from an era that is, again, objectively, not even subjectively, objectively fantastic. So I think this is proof positive here. I'm not saying you missed the boat, but certainly some opportunity, especially in Lost Origin. We're seeing some volume move here, but the price hasn't budged all that much in the last month. So let's see what our lowest listings look like. Yeah, about $400. I still think there's opportunity here. I still think there's opportunity in the cheaper products like the Pokemon Center ETBs. Do not sleep on those. The vote of confidence in the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs, because they have the promos. It's not just the promo. The promo is what is the catalyst for the Scarlet and Violet era, but for the Sword and Shield era, it is scarcity. Okay, they printed the bejesus out of ETBs in the Sword and Shield era. The Pokemon Center ETBs stand alone in that they are rare. It's a different type of box, and that will matter. I promise you, it will matter long term. It's already mattered in the short term. We're seeing that uptick in those. We're seeing that separation in price between the Pokemon Center ETBs and the regular ETBs. So I think it's a bit of a PSA announcement. Again, last chance to really kind of take a look at some of these products before they really start to run up. Some of these are starting to run away on us here. And some of these I think have a lot more upside potential than a lot of people give them credit for. Just look at how few boxes we see here in the market. Even going back to Fusion Strike here, there's only 81 comparing to Evolving Skies is 200. A lot of that has to do with just the how expensive this product is, in that it draws more sellers into the market. Because it is, people want to take advantage of that price and get out and get, some profit in there. But upside potential, I've been saying it, Fusion Strike for a long time, has a lot of upside potential. I can very easily see this pushing to $1,000. I think it will push to $1,000 potentially by the end of 2025, early 2026. And again, I think this is a fantastic set. This has a bunch of chase cards that I love. It has one of my holy grail of chase cards in that Willy Wonka Gengar that I have never pulled and should have just purchased outright a while ago. And you can look down, the gallery of sets in Sword and Shield and look at other boxes too. Look at other sets that just people aren't looking at. Brilliant Stars is always left behind sometimes. Look how few of these booster boxes are available. 64 on TCG Player. And again, market's starting to realize here, if you've been looking at Scarlet and Violet, you've been paying attention to Destined Rivals, White Flare, Black Bolt, everything that's going on, all the reprints and everything, look where others aren't looking. No one's talking about Sword and Shield. That is where the opportunity is, and maybe was, because again, we are starting to see the movement here. But keep looking. Look down the value chain. Look at, let's see, Silver Tempest, actually. Let's look at Silver Tempest. This is a fantastic one. More boxes listed here. This is a cheaper product. Again, I would rather pick up right now, if I'm going to spend $250, I'd rather look at Silver Tempest than anything in Scarlet and Violet. That has nothing to do with the type of cards, the artwork of cards in Scarlet and Violet. I love it. It's just, they're going to print, because the demand signal from the market for Scarlet and Violet is, we love the crap out of this. We want it. We want it. We want it. They're going to print, their print roadmap, the print life cycle on that era is going to be massive, because the demand signal from the market is, I want, right? They're going to capitalize on that. They're going to make money on that. They're going to print. It will be, there's no question, Scarlet and Violet era will be the most heavily printed era of any era in Pokemon's history. There's no question about, they have to, in order to, they have to quelch a lot of that demand. So Silver Tempest is another great one. I think I had, let's see, I had Astral Radiance pulled up. Yeah, another great set. Again, just look at some of these other sets where you have fewer boxes than Evolving Skies, and that could be just because it's cheap. If this jumped up to $500, that'd probably bring a whole bunch of sellers into the market, but it's a fine set. Battle Styles is still another one that's under 200. Let's see if it is under 200. I wonder if we just did an update. I was talking about Battle Styles not too long ago here. Let's look at booster boxes. Still under 200. 143 boxes, and this is always talked about as a crap set and everything. It's not the best set. But we have some great cards here. The Rapid Strike Urshifu here is a fantastic card. Just not as many good cards as some of these other sets. But so that's my public service announcement for today. Just a double video today, because I really thought it was important to look and talk about that Evolving Skies situation. I think this is what the smart money is doing. It's looking where others, looking where people aren't paying attention and making those moves. And I urge you to take a look, especially again at the cheaper products. I keep beating the drum on the Pokemon Center ETBs and the regular ETBs. Fantastic. There's still ETBs in the Sword and Shield era that are cheaper than what we find in the Scarlet and Violet era. So look at, it sounded like I was going to end the video there, but let's look a quick comparison again here. Smart money versus dumb money. So we have, this is just nuts. $72, $73 for a Stellar Crown Elite Trainer box. Stellar Crown's going to get reprinted. It's going to get heavily reprinted. It's a, I don't know, C+, B- tier set. And then let's look at Astral Radiance. Let's see in a comparative. Let's take a look here. Yeah, a little bit more money, you get a set that there's less than, it's not going to get reprinted. I mean, and it's, I would say at least on par with Stellar Crown. So again, that's you. I mean, this is easy calculus for me in terms of which one I would choose at the end of the day. To be able to people are prepaying. People were prepaying Destined Rivals, knowing everything that was released in that set, for $120 in ETB. and you're telling me that has more upside. We know that didn't have that much upside potential because it's dropped heavily. So again, make sure you're doing your own research on this stuff. I know people get enamored with the current market, the current era, because that's the hotness, that's where the hype is. Again, if you want to separate yourself and make the difference between making money, which is a short-term mindset, versus making wealth, you got to look at things in a bigger scope. You got to ask yourself, if this is where the hype is, maybe that's where I shouldn't be focusing right now in terms of deploying capital. So that's it for today. Sorry for the rant. And let me know what you think in the comments section below. And of course, if you like what we're doing, we're marching towards 5,000 real quick. We got to do something big for 5,000. Big giveaway, multiple seal products. We got to figure something out. So help us get there by being a subscriber so you can stay in the know in this crazy market and help, find little ins and outs like this one today. So that's it for today, Poker Market Lab. We will see you on the next one. Peace.